morning. Thank you at home for watching. Thank you in Radio Land for listening. It's the Christian View, where we take today's hot topics and weigh it against the Word of God, because God does have a view. Even on this, Trudy Davis, you know, I don't think anywhere in the King James Version of the Bible have I ever found the term gender fluid.
Oh, really?
Gender fluid. This is such a new term for me, you know, fluid. That means we may be a woman right now and a man this afternoon, whichever way we feel at the time. This is crazy.
Yeah, so like you say, it's a relatively new idea that is used to convey a sense that gender identity is not fixed, but can move along a spectrum of male to female at any given time. And it's really sort of a day is the way the research showed it. But listen to this language. Gender fluid people are not confined by restrictive boundaries or sociotypical expectations placed on them by society. It's a form of creative self-expression and mindful alternative. So you'd think that these would be the most happy, intellectual, well-rounded individuals.
I think they'd be the most confused in the
Jackie,
world.
if you dig down deep,
I can't even imagine. It's hard enough being a woman.
There's social.
I can't even imagine.
But you know
what it would be.
I do
If tomorrow I got to try to be a man.
Yeah,
I just can't even think like that.
Not only they're confused, they're very angry. They're very intolerant. They're very suicidal. Very dark. Their social media outlet is called Tumblr, and if you go on there and you do not agree with what they say, you will get anonymous death threats. So they're very protective and angry about this new creative way of their identity.
It's such a new term that wasn't even in the dictionary until 2015, I read.
Oh my gosh.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Now, the term androgyny has been around for a while, you know, where we look at the percentage where we all kind of have some female characteristics and some male characteristics as identified by the social sciences. But now people have taken this to a whole nother level. And I know we kind of talk about why is it on the rise, you know. I think it's really the purport, or for people to really just kind of stick to, I want to live like I want to live.
Right.
And I went to a restaurant last Friday evening, and I went to go to the restroom, and when I went in, on the doors it said whichever.
Right.
You know, and so I looked, and all the doors said whichever. There was no male, no female, or anything, you know, on the door. So I thought it was
when
amazing.
you take a look at it, you know, I mean, and that's something that, to me, that's phenomenal. That is a real wow.
Yes.
You know, but when you take a look at society, you're dealing with the fact that there are no absolutes.
Right.
You know, we want to take away any absolute, so therefore now there's nothing to latch onto, because that makes us feel uncomfortable. And so now, what is God given, what God created, gender can be whatever it wants to be. And so we've become our own gods in that sense.
That's true.
It's the ultimate expression of humanism, that we're in charge and we decide.
Is this a product of what this world has created from maybe sexual abuse as children to what they have grown up to be, or dysfunctional families, Trudy Simmons, to where dad is left and now mom's trying to raise this little boy by herself, and he doesn't have a father figure in his life? Is this the product of what we've created?
I mean, I think some of it is, but some of it I think is just free choice. We used to live across the street from a young boy who decided he wanted to be a boy one day and a girl the next day. He'd get off the bus with a dress on, he'd get on.
You're kidding.
I mean,
You actually saw that?
Yes, and he had two different names. And whatever day, and his mom and dad, they embraced it, and they had a happy family. But he was bullied at school. So he was bullied at his former school, and this was kind of a way of, okay, this is who I am, however I feel.
How old was he?
He was 15.
And that's the new theory, you know, in psychology and counseling. You're really taught now that if people come in, that gender is something that it kind of derives along the way. So don't force anyone in identifying as being male or female, because it's based upon how they're feeling, whether they are male or female. Not about the biological sex that they are, but more so about how they're feeling. And the issue is, as you say, it is on the rise now, where you see more parents that are allowing their children to cross-dress at an early age. And to me, I know everyone can do, you know, how they want to do, but I think that's something that, as a parent, you should wait until maybe your kid is older, when they're more responsible enough to decide.
One of your boys.
Yes.
It ain't that.
I'm sorry.
Don't even go there.
These are subjects that I don't even want to think about as a mom. I don't even want to, and that's what's wrong with a lot of us Christians, really.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to confess it, but we need to talk about
We
it.
better be.
Because we've come a long way from Deuteronomy 25:5 that says women must not wear men's clothes and men must not wear women's clothes.
Right.
Everyone who does such things is detestable to the
And he
Lord.
created them,
Yes.
male and female. I don't see anywhere in Genesis that say which thermometer, which fluid are they going up and down on this one? They have a fever today.
I don't know how much clearer you can be than that.
But
Really.
Rebecca, I
This is
think
why
you're
we have
right.
a warped society.
Right. And we have to talk about it because even when my son, we would be walking and he would get off the bus one way and I'd have to have a conversation with my son. Well,
Can you
Mom,
imagine how he felt?
what is going on? And so then he starts to question, well, Mom, and I'm like, no, honey, you are a child of God.
Exactly.
You are definitely a male through and through, and that's not going to change.
It's important that we the world has everything coming at our children. I mean, 1,000 miles a minute. We have to come at them, just as much, if not a 10,000, because we've allowed everything that the world does to come at them, and we haven't given an alternative.
Right.
And the Bible
Or the
lets us
tools,
know
right.
that Romans is strong delusion.
Right.
It's a strong delusion.
Yeah.
Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to go a little bit further into sexual fluidity.